Hey everybody, Esther here.
Hi, I'm Tom.
You'll understand my reaction in a minute. So this video on recognize your level of crazy and manage it with EQ is about doing business with family and friends.
Is that like you and me working together? Is that an issue?
So here's the thing, guys. How often and how many of us have struggled with this process of wanting to work with our family and friends, but it's hard. It almost seems impossible. The risk of damage to that relationship is much higher
Than even the results or the rewards of working together with sometimes family or friends, right?
So here's the thing, guys. Here's the gist of this video, is that if you want to work with family and friends, then you have to provide the results that you would provide to a stranger. And even more so.
Almost even more so.
Even more so. Why? Because you are a family or a friend. And some of you may be like, well, that's obvious, Esther.
Yeah.
But it's not. Because what happens is, many times we cut corners. We cut corners for those that we care about because we think they're not going to notice, or because they're cool, they're going to be all right with it.
Or maybe just because of entitlement, since you think, well, I've got the business, so it's easy enough for me to just do this, grab this business and go on with my life. But in that same token, even in the medical practice, it's not, it's kind of well understood that you don't really want to necessarily treat family and friends, It can be a little awkward sometimes. And it's not that we don't, and we will, and we do, but I always say that has to be there's someone asking for that service, and I'm willing to give the treatment or the consultation if they're requesting it. Not me asking to treat them because I see they have a problem. I want them to be requesting it and asking for help. And so I think it depends on what situation we're talking about when it comes to working with family and friends.
And when you really look at successful families or friendships that have done work together, you notice that they have a certain dynamic that allows for that. They each have a certain EQ level. Their EQ is very high, and they know that they have to, each one knows their role, each one knows their strengths and their weaknesses, and they're able to work together. There's no egos, there's no issues. They're very, very, they treat it like a business. There's no emotion entanglements, there's no expectations. It just is work, it's business, it's clear cut, and there's no issues. And so if you want to work with friends and family, really, you have to do it that way. You cannot have these entitlements.
Is there any emotional intelligence recommendation here? It sounds like emotional entanglements is where we come up with when we're talking about this subject.
Well, that's the EQ tool right there, is that you have to make sure that you respect each other's strengths, each other's weaknesses, if you want to call them, and you want to really respect each other without the ego, without the entanglements, without the entitlements of, this is my family, this is my friend, you should give it to me just because. No, your relationship to the person does not give you access to that entitlement. You have to earn that right. You have to earn the business. You have to earn the job. You have to earn everything. Because in this life, and we always talk about the spiritual component, everyone has their life path. Everyone is here to learn something, some sort of lesson, and therefore there is no entitlements. You don't just earn it because you're family or you're a friend. You have to earn it because you earned it, because you performed, you provided a result, and you earned it like every other person.
Well, it just reminds me of the phrase that I learned a long time ago. The highest form of worship or spirituality is to be in service.
Yep.
So just when you're taking on any task in life, if it helps me to look at it that way, that if I'm being of service, then I am and I'm doing that with good intention, then I'm doing the highest and best I can in that situation.
Absolutely. Always come from service, and you will always get the business and the sale.
All right.
So with that,
when we know better, we do better. What you resist persists, and we learn by doing.
And when you know and understand yourself, the world will know and understand you too. And remember,
what's the best that can happen?
Take care, guys.
Bye bye.